My wife keeps wanting me to go to a museum with her, but I won't go. Why will I never go to a museum? I don't want to go to a museum because I would prefer to go to the junkyard where the wrecks of humanity can be found. This is the Goose Farm in Ottsville, PA. 30 plus acres of junk for you to pick and poke through. All kinds of items are to be found in this junkyard. Last week we ran out of nuts at our tree farm in Fountainville, PA, and my men went out and bought new nuts. What a mistake. 3 days later I'm up at the junkyard and I'm picking and poking through, and don't I find a barrel of nuts. Thousands of nuts. And so I had to bring them back to help keep our tree farm supplied with equipment and parts. The only place for me to go shopping or viewing of antiques and old relics of the past is the Goose Farm in Ottsville, PA.
What do you think I brought you today?
Probably some more acorns.
Well, remember you did run out of nuts last week, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so take a look in the bucket here.
There's times when you leave me speechless. Believe it or not.
I got those at the Goose Farm, free.
Another unusual way we supply our farm with equipment and materials is we do a lot of bartering. If you have things in your garage or your workshop that you no longer use, give us a call at Highland Hill Farm. Maybe we can barter for trees and shrubs we have here at our nursery in Fountainville, PA. Call us at 215-651-8329. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye. People come to our tree farm with all kinds of vehicles. Here's a World War II Jeep.
Tell me about your Jeep.
It's a 1943 Willys MB. But it's a World War II, February of '45 government rebuild. So this is a mixture of Ford and Willys parts, and they had put another data plate on the dashboard because they had a big rebuild program still during the war. So this was either a wrecked Jeep or many wrecked Jeeps all put back together by the government and put back into service in February of '45. I restored it to a Navy Jeep to my father's squadron when he was stationed at one of the bases here in San Diego, California. It'll be at the World War II Air Show in Reading on June 4th and 5th, and June 18th it will be at the National Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian. And there's my wife sticking a plant in it while we're doing a video.
Oh.
That's a Willys engine in there?
It is. It's Willys engine, transmission, frame, axles, grill, windshield, and driver and rear seat.
You never know what you're going to see when you come to Highland Hill Farm on Route 313 in Fountainville, PA. We have a wonderful selection of evergreens and deciduous trees and shrubs, and we do deliver and plant. Call us at 215-651-8329. Thank you. This is Bill at Highland Hill Farm, and today I want to tell you a story about Mother's Day. A couple days ago, a man came here looking for a holly for his yard. And when he was ready to pay, he said he also needed a holly for his mom. Now, this man was about my age, so I said to him, well, there's some little perennials outside the window here. Just take her one and tell her it's from Bill at Highland Hill Farm. And so he was very happy to get a free perennial for his mother, and I was happy to give it to him. And we struck up a little conversation. And here's the story of that conversation. This man's approximately my age. And he said that his mother was 89. And I asked him, oh, well then your father was probably a vet. And he said, yes, my father was a vet. I said, mine too. And he said that he really missed his father. His father died a couple of years ago. And I said, I also. My mother and father are both deceased, and I miss them both. And then he said, was your father in the Army? And I said, no, my father was in the Army Air Corps. And he was saying that his father was in the Army. And he then went on to say that his father was in the Battle of the Bulge and had been captured by the Germans and escaped. And I looked at him and I said, when I was a kid I knew a man who was also in the Battle of the Bulge and he escaped. And that man was a true hero to me because he taught me an awful lot about life. And he said to me, what was that man's name? And I said, that man's name was Benny Janeski from Lambertville, New Jersey. He looked at me in surprise and awe, and he said, that's my father. And so I met Benny Janeski Jr. I had known his father and his mother from many years ago. In fact, I knew they lived on Rock Hill Road in Lambertville, or Rocktown Road in Lambertville, and that his father had a TD9 bulldozer, and it started with gas and ran then with diesel. He switched it over from gas to diesel. I knew his father was a great mechanic and a great operator of heavy equipment. And I said to him, you know, I knew his father very well. I saw him sometimes daily back in the 60s when I knew him. And so that's the story I wanted to tell you today about the two men that mean a lot to me, my father and Benny Janeski.